Hello and welcome to a new, improved, different. Why would you tell me that?
Why is it different, Dave?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one is we are videoed.
I know.
We are on camera. So if you're an audio podcast listener, hello, we love you. You've been here since the start. Nothing will change.
Nothing.
We hope for you. But if you would like the extra super bonus party of video, you now have that option on all manner of platforms.
And it's not weird at all. And we set this studio up, and I said to my missus last night, because it's in my front room, essentially.
Yeah.
I said to my missus last night, what's it look like? We've got a background, we've got a little props, like I got a Countdown mug, because I don't know if you know, I've been on Countdown.
I've heard that, yeah.
There's Dave's books. We've got other books from previous guests. We have like David McWilliams' books. And I said, what do you think? Thinking that there was some sort of degree of artistic merit to my design. Professionalism.
Yeah.
And she said it basically looked like Bonnie Blue was going to wander in and do things to you and or me. Well, it looked like an OnlyFans setup.
If that's the new podcast, then. But I like that you think that that's kind of the difference. The difference is the camera. The difference is the studio. The difference is we're sitting beside each other.
I know.
We've never done this, not once. Other than live.
Yes.
But even live, you've got an audience. It's a whole different thing. This is because we always do this podcast remotely. Because we set it up during those times when remote podcasts were a thing.
Yeah.
And at one point early on, I don't even remember this, you came to my house and we thought we'd do it in the room. So we both sat in my front room. We both turned on our computers to record each other. And there was a massive audio problem because they were getting spill on microphones and things. So I went upstairs to my bedroom where I always do the podcast, and you sat alone in my front room. So we still did it separate.
It was so weird.
It was so weird.
But what I like about this is that people worry about change. You know, if they like something, if you've liked this podcast before, you go, is it going to change? Is a camera going, is it like Schrodinger's podcast? Is the act of observation going to change Dave?
Yes.
And if you can see what Dave is wearing for today, you would know.
Or worse, if you know what I look like. Because obviously up until now, I'm just a disembodied voice, surely.
But you have made the equal amount of effort you would for an audio podcast as you would for your radio show or this show.
Nothing is going to change me ever, okay?
Yes.
Like, often people will wonder who your style icons are, who you base yourself off, you know. Yeah. So some people might look at the timeless classic of
Cary Grant,
the suit wearing Cary Grant, or they may look at, you know, the modern icon of it, David Beckham, who has chameleoned his way through the 90s and noughties and stayed relevant. I base all of my fashion decisions off toddlers. Okay, so when I walk through a shopping centre, I often wonder whether parents will call security because I'm going, excuse me, where did he get that hoodie? Sorry, he's 2. I know, but if I can get it in the same colour, that's incredible. If I get a green and a pink back, we're like, that's unbelievable. Thomas the Tank Engine, is it? Okay, yeah, so you'll see on video that I wear hoodie. No, in fairness, I did wear long-legged pants.
I was hoping for shorts.
There will be shorts.
Okay.
Like, there will be shorts.
Which is the follow-up to Daniel Day-Lewis's Oscar-winning performance. We've already set the tone of this podcast. You mentioned fashion icon, and instead of going for David Beckham, we had 1930s and 40s superstar Cary Grant, real name Archibald Leach. That is the level of relevance that we will bring.
This is, if you want your finger on the pulse of modern living, this is not the place for you.
News just in, Lindbergh crosses the Atlantic.
Cary Grant passes away.
That's the level of stuff we're going to talk about.
But in reality, right, nothing is going to change other than the fact that we're now in the same room together.
Yes.
You now want me to wear shorts.
Yeah.
It feels a bit OnlyFans, and we have video. Other than that,
everything is the same.
It's still going to be us trying to outfact each other because that's what this whole thing is based on.
I can't believe you mentioned that you dress like a toddler, because the opening gift in the new era is for you. Runners with lights in the heel.
Oh, nice.
No, it's a heel with wheels.
Oh, heelies.
Yeah. That's good, because I can actually get your facial expression when I show you pictures. Because my first fact today, I want to show you a picture.
A picture?
Yes.
So immediately, look at this. The camera turns on for 4 minutes.
And I turn on. Showbiz, baby.
No, he immediately disregards the audio part of this podcast. He's immediately going for the fame, the bright lights, the video camera. He's going, forget you guys who can't see this thing. I want to show Dave a picture.
No, because I'll get you to describe the picture.
Okay.
Because I always get you to describe the picture.
He does, in fairness. He'll often WhatsApp me things.
Shall we begin?
Let's begin.
Oh, by the way, I've got good news before we actually start the podcast proper.
Okay.
Because we're in a new era, and we and we're being heckled by seagulls that live in the chimney.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think there'll probably be a third character now in this podcast. It's like a Chekhov play or something.
Seagulls in the chimney.
Well, that was the seagull, I think it is. So, because... Listen, it's a new era and it's video, and obviously there's more expenses with that.
Sure.
We have our first ever ad read.
Oh my God!
Yes,
really?
We have our first ever ad read. Now I know that you are slightly perturbed and slightly conservative. You know, you didn't want to do like arms companies ads and all that sort of stuff.
There were a couple of lines I drew in the sand.
Yes, yeah. But I'm just going to do it. We need the cash.
We need the money.
So just if you could look the other way morally, if that's okay. Okay. And I can do it. You can do the next dodgy one.
Okay.
So, cash for gold and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of a similar to that, but anyway, I'll just do it.
Go on, go ahead.
Just ignore it and just kind of bite your tongue. This episode of Why Would You Tell Me That is brought to you for... Sorry, I can't do this.
I'll just try again. Take a breath.
This episode of Why Would You Tell Me That is brought to you by cashforskin.com. Loose skin, tight skin, make your skin earn for you. We buy your skin. You can donate up to 55% of your total skin area, according to the Mayo Clinic. That's not the Mayo Clinic, obviously. That's the Dermatology Institute of Castlebar. We accept skin from your legs, arms, or torso. No thin skin, no problem. We will use it to repair vellum books. Bumpy skin, same thing, but in Braille. Circumcised recently? Why? That could be a snack for Army Hammer. Dandruff, our snow globes don't fill themselves. Subscribe now to our newsletter, all missile, no gristle. Oh, see how much back skin you would need to donate to do the patches on a geography teacher's sleeves. We need your help. Our competitors' pelts our roasts are breathing down our necks. There's no need for bulky packaging. Simply slice off a big sheet of dermis and fold it according to our instructions to turn it into its own envelope. Flay, Queen, get crackling. Use the promo code... It puts the lotion in the basket to get started. Terms and conditions apply. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We do not accept individual freckles. So listen, we got a lot of money for...
Wow. That's... Okay, I'm glad. We probably need one of those sound effects that separates the podcast from the ad read. Yeah. That's important.
I hope you're happy with that. Sorry about that.
Outrageously good. I will say one thing.
Yeah.
Whether or not that generates revenue for us, what will generate revenue for us is the fact that there's going to be a members only option. Now, I realize this sounds more like OnlyFans by the minute, but if you pay us money, we will do things that other podcasts won't do.
Yes.
So
we're going to do a Patreon.
We're going to do a Patreon.
Send us in your questions as well.
Well, that's a key thing. So the Patreon episode is going to be less about facts. Any questions you have about the facts or comments on the facts are welcome. But it'll be more about, the real life goings on of two crazy guys. Who
young and hip in the city.
Yeah. Who are so young and hip. Referencing Cary Grant.
And not hip in the city.
Yeah, but honestly, it'll be brilliant. If you're a fan of the podcast, you'll get an extra episode every week. You'll also get things like early access to
live tickets.
The amazing things that we do loads of. I think we've done 3 ever live gigs. If there's ever a fourth, you'll be the first one to know about it. First access to tickets. If we ever do merchandise.
Yes. We definitely do merchandise because people send us in cool stuff as well.
Yeah, that's true. But all that stuff will be on the Patreon, so please join us on that. It'll be brilliant.
Can I tell you before we do the first fact of the setup of this show? So our friend is the producer of the show, is in the room with us now. When we were setting this up, video-wise, I said to him, he came into my Olympia gig, and I said to him, let's have a look at just how many cameras we need, and we'll have a look at this, like some of my mates' podcasts. So we looked up at Keep It Tight, the Emma and Dee's podcast, and we looked up Shane Daniel Byrne and Killian and Tony
Young Hot Guys.
Young Hot Guys. So I looked up on my phone Young Hot Guys podcast, and Young Hot Guys podcast popped up. Diarmuid didn't use the word podcasts.
Oh,
yeah, and got a
Young
message
Hot Guys
from the server, or like the the people who give you the internet.
Yeah.
And went, stop looking this up. And his phone just went on fire, and he can't go near a school now.
That's okay. That's okay. These are lessons for us all to learn.
I hope you don't mind me saying that, Diarmuid. Yeah, he got a thumbs up there. That's the thumb he had to cut off. So yeah, if you're going to look up Young Hot Guys podcast.
That's the one. Add that
by
word.
the way, I said it to my friend that night. I said, "Can you imagine?" And he said it could have been worse. You could have looked up the two of them together. Young Hot Guys Keep It Tight podcast, which is probably the worst thing. I'm looking in my book because this is the ridiculous. First story I want to tell you today.
See, because I've never seen you.
Yes.
Prepare because you've been remote. So I've come on and you look into the camera of your computer and all of the magic happens beneath the angle. Now I'm getting to see
handwritten notes. Tell you where this comes from, right? This is the only fact we're going to need for my half of the show.
Wow.
You remember Derek Guy?
Sorry, you should put each episode is 7 minutes long. Yeah.
Do you remember Derek Guy was on the show? The guy who was about the menswear. He was absolutely amazing. Talks about the King of Spain and all that stuff.
And all that. Yeah,
there's a big thing out about Greenland at the moment and America's fascination with Greenland. He tweeted a thing about Greenland, about somebody who's in Greenland, and I thought that can't be real.
I love that.
A guy who is an explorer who was on expeditions in Greenland, and I looked up what he said, and it is 100% true.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring you back to. You are going to absolutely love this. Going to bring you back. It's 1923. Okay. It's spring.
Okay.
It's the Fox Basin. It's in the Canadian Arctic, right? And there's a guy called Peter Freuchen. Now, Peter Freuchen, I'm going to show you a picture of Peter Freuchen. He was born in Denmark. He became an explorer, or he was on expeditions in the Arctic. This is what he looked like. Was there a man built for the Arctic? This is a picture of him with his wife there. I want you to describe Peter.
Wow.
Peter is 6'7"
in the 40s, 30s.
He was born in 1886, which is about 9 foot tall in modern language. Probably.
It is. Now he is wearing the fur of many animals.
Yeah.
Which, putting it beside his third wife, Dagmar, I believe is her name. She's a delicate, dainty waif of a woman.
Yeah.
Sitting on a chair. He's standing in all 6'7" of them.
Yeah.
But he's also about 7 feet wide because of the size of the fur.
He looks like a fridge rode a bear. Basically.
Do you remember in Game of Thrones, there was a red-haired, maybe Icelandic fella.
Norwegian guy,
right? Scandinavian red-haired lad. And he is giant, and I'm sure in the show he's portrayed to be even bigger than whatever he is. But he looks a little bit like him in that kind of Nordic, gaze on his face, his appearance, his giant fur coat, his big beard, and he's 6'7".
He looks like the mountain in Game of Thrones. If he was a furry, that's kind of a proclivity. If he was a furry,
there's something for the OnlyFans.
That's a description. Okay,
Hafthor.
So let me go back. So he becomes. I'll go back to the beginning. 1886. He's Danish. He's from a decent family. There's a lot of doctors in his family. I think his dad was a doctor. He was due to go to be a doctor. He goes to medical school. He decides it's kind of not for him. But this is the period where people are going to the Arctic and they're coming back and they're given these lectures, and he goes to one of the lectures, and basically he follows the guy and knocks on the guy's door in his house and goes, any chance I can get onto an old Greenland exploration
just for a crack?
He is mad into it, and he goes on the Greenland expeditions. His job was, he was a stoker basically, because he's huge, right? He's a stoker in a ship, so he's just downstairs and he's just putting coal into a fire.
Okay.
Rather than writing Dracula.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, because I thought that's where that look was going. He's out on the ice at one point. He's doing different things than the other guys in the expedition. We're all just building up to this moment of the other expedition. He goes in on himself there. He's stuck in a cabin. He's meant to be taking readings from the ice, but he's separate from people, and he kind of goes a little bit. Yeah, he goes a little bit kind of cabin fever. Okay. He comes back to talk to the guys, and he's just blabbing all the time. He's just, because he has had no human contact because he's been away on the ice. I think he overwintered on the ice. Went back to Denmark. Went back to Greenland again. He the difference between him and some of the other explorers and expedition people of the day was he married an Inuit woman, learned how to speak the language.
Wow.
Seems to value their culture massively. She got ill in 1921 of influenza and she died.
Okay.
Her name was Naravana, and which is what his granddad was called as well. So he was a kind of a man who's very interested in. Remember, he's coming from. I looked this up. I don't think there's technically any mountains in Denmark. If you've ever been to Denmark, it's very, very flat.
Very flat, yeah.
Very flat, very sandy. Love the place, by the way. Gigs, unbelievable gigs.
Really, in Denmark?
Oh, yeah. I must have told you the thing that as an Irish person abroad, you expect to get certain heckles like, Guinness, potatoes, Mr. Irishman. Middle of the Comedy Zoo in Denmark, and there was a silence in the setup line, and I just got, hey, Johnny Logan.
Of course, yes.
Massive in Denmark.
Yeah.
So he goes to Greenland, he's fascinated by it, Anyway, goes back, he ends up there in 1923, okay? And he is on a mission. They're dropping supplies. He decides to leave his campmates, the other people. That's what makes it sound like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. But no, the other guys in the expedition because he's checking on supplies. Anyway, he's on his own. It's 1923. It's minus 40. It can be up there. And the storm comes in. He decides I need to take shelter from the storm.
Right.
So this huge man digs a hole, leaves the dogs off. The dogs are grand.
Yeah, they're
built for that.
Yeah,
They just hunker down. There's a rake of them. So he digs a hole and he flips his sled upside down and he gets underneath the sled. And he has a sealskin bag and that seals his exit hole. He falls asleep.
Okay.
Don't ever seal your exit hole.
And fall asleep.
I mean, that's one of the rules.
Yeah.
Not only from blizzards. I just think as a rule, don't ever seal your exit hole.
Don't put sealskin over your exit hole.
Over your exit hole.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen? He wakes up. Sealskin bag is frozen to his exit hole. Uh-oh. I need to stop saying the word exit.
No, please continue.
Okay. He can't get out there, right?
Just physically, even at 6'7".
He's in he's the size of a coffin.
Right.
Basically at this point, right? So he wakes up and his feet are numb as well.
Okay.
And he rolls onto his front. And what he does is he tries to almost bench press.
So a push-up.
A push-up.
Push up his way through.
Yeah. But like he's stuck fast.
Right.
So what he does is he sucks on a piece of strap that's from polar bear skin. And that freezes.
Okay.
Right? And he gets it. And once it is stiff, he kind of scrapes a little tunnel through the snow. And he shoves his head out of the little tunnel. But he shoves his head into a raging storm.
The storm's still going.
So the head is just out like this.
Right.
His feet are numb and his head is above like this. Right? And now he's a big beard and he's got lots of spittle on the beard.
Yeah.
So his beard immediately freezes to a part of the sled.
Oh, no.
So now he's stuck to the sled. He can barely move. He is in serious trouble at this point. He's no hat in his head.
So his head is stuck out. Because it's frozen to
the sled
upside down, or the sled run. Okay.
Yeah.
So he can't pull it back. Well, he could pull it back in by pulling off a bit of his beard, I guess. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So now he's exposed.
Yep.
And he's got freezing feet.
Yeah.
This is not a good picture.
This is not a good picture. So as the most manly of men in the history of manly men, he basically pulls it away
rips the beard,
and rips the beard out. And then
it's an ad for IMAC.
This is where it gets weird.
Oh, it's not weird already.
Oh no, this is where it gets weird.
Okay.
So he improvises and he looks and he can see the dogs and he remembers an old Inuit trick. And this is what Derek Guy tweeted. What?
I'm just okay. Go on.
What?
I'm just imagining what he's going to get the dogs to do.
Well, it used to be there was a trick using dog poo,
right?
But he can't get access
to the dog poo.
But he can get access to his own.
Okay.
So he feels his bowels move. So he produces said movement.
Yeah.
And he waits for it to freeze.
Oh, I thought he was going to use the warm liquid nature of it to achieve some sort. Sorry.
No. You're thinking the opposite way. You're thinking heat. He's thinking cold.
He's thinking cold. Okay.
So what he does is he forms what can only be described on a BBC Radio 4 documentary, and this is not the language you listen to BBC Radio 4 for, is a poo dagger.
A shit sword.
Why did it say a poo dagger when there's so many other things they could have said? A poo dagger, a gank shank, I think. And number 2 blades.
Oh, that's good.
I would have thought perfect. Yeah, but no, they didn't go for fecal rapier. They went for poo dagger. He's 6'7" as well. Poo dagger. It's not going to be a dagger.
No.
It's going to be a
baseball bat.
A soiled foil. That's what it's going to be. So he takes this and chisels his way to freedom using his own excrement.
Frozen excrement.
Yep. Hooks up the dogs. Right?
The dogs have no respect for him at this point. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
No,
the dogs are going, listen, I appreciate the survival instincts, but that is gross.
Do you think they've no respect for him? Or loads of respect for him?
Maybe they're sniffing extra violently at his exit hole. Who knows?
Surely the word would spread among the canine community. Like, surely that when you had your lovely dog, or when I pick up my dog's poo out the street now, my dogs look at me going, "You're just gonna put that in the bin?"
Yeah.
When you could form implements from it. You could free people.
Oh my God.
So this is what he does. Also, he obviously writes this down.
Of course.
So he tells everybody this because this is in his writings.
Well, in fairness,
we know about
I
it.
will say this, right? I will say this. If the method by which you survive certain death is by the creation of an improvised tool, MacGyver style, you want to tell the story.
Yeah.
The dilemma you have is whether or not you want to reveal that the tool was devised from your own plop.
Yeah.
That's the only question. I mean, it's miraculous.
It is miraculous.
It's just, do you want to tell everyone?
You do want. I think you do.
You do.
I think you want to tell
do.
everybody.
You probably do.
You'd also imagine he's just. I mean, the level of desperation and then trying to remember: did I have Alpen? Did I have Allbrand? Did I have?
I do remember being outside in a similar temperature in St. Petersburg in Russia in 1995.
I can't wait to hear the end of this.
Yeah. And we're walking down by a canal, okay? And obviously, as cold as it was in minus 30, something like that, by the frozen water of the canal, it was even colder, right? And my eyelashes and eyelids froze together.
Yeah.
To the point where I was with my mate, Peter, how are you, Peter? And I went, Emo, stop. And he's like, what? I was like, I can't open my eyes. And my eyelids had frozen together. Now, I couldn't see anything. The story he tells me is he led me by the arm into a fast food restaurant. We sat down. He took off his 2 pairs of thermal gloves.
Yeah.
And his thumb was warmer than the ice.
Yeah.
He put it onto my eye and rubbed it, and eventually the ice turned back into water and I freed my eyes.
Yeah.
I couldn't see. I mean, maybe he went the opposite way. Decided to use the heat of something. Who knows what he rubbed on my eyes?
Or maybe he just couldn't remember and confused has the cure for jellyfish thing and the cure for opening somebody's eyes.
That's what I'm worried about now.
Well, this guy, that's still one of the least remarkable things about his life, by the way. I'll give you the précis of the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So he becomes an Arctic explorer, comes back. By the way, legs, all the toes.
Oh, gone. So yeah.
Took them all off.
Right.
Himself.
With
a hammer and chisel.
that he made out of his own poo.
Yeah, what else did he make? Now he was into it. Like, he was making it. He was making it when there was no need. Like, he's in B&Q going, what's that? Oh, steel, tungsten.
No. Wait till you see what I've got in my freezer.
Look at this. You imagine he went to Dragon's Den. just walking in going, yes, I'm in stuff, but eventually all the steel's going to run out.
Gary Neville goes, I'm in. I'll give you 20% of the company.
How far are you in, Gary? Not enough to see your next Black & Decker. So no, that was the last time he did anything like that. As far as we know, can't rule anything out. Yeah. Got home, had a wooden leg. Then his days of exploration were over. But he was an amazing storyteller.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're still telling the story 100 years later. Literally 103 years later. Went the lecture circuit. His books were banned in Germany. Outbreak of the Second World War.
Okay.
Did a lot of resistance work for the Danish resistance.
Good man.
Jews during the Second World War. Then Denmark was invaded by the Germans, obviously. Fled to America, and in the 50s, he was on the lecture circuit. Some guy saw him who was a question setter for $64,000 question, right? Now, this thing was so big.
Yeah.
This was like Beatles playing, what was it, the Ed Sullivan Show?
Yeah.
Like, crime didn't happen. Apparently, the president said, don't give me any meetings during this.
Sure.
If you got on this, you were famous.
Right.
He became the 5th person ever to win the $64,000 and became even more famous than he already was.
Give us his name again.
As an author, Peter Freuchen.
Peter Freuchen, ladies and gentlemen.
6'7". He was clever. He was resourceful. He was intelligent. He was a good author. And if you were stuck,
trapped with your exit hole sealed off, listen, there's no better man you want in your corner or up your exit hole than Peter Freuchen.
So when you're filling in the CEO, CES form, going, what will I do? Is there a job out there that'll suit me?
There is. There always is.
That's part 1. I should have done that. It should have been number 2.
That's brilliant, Neil. We'll leave it at part 1. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to part 2 of the new exciting format. How would you tell me that?
The look you gave me direct into my soul there. He was not breaking eye contact for anything. It's just like,
now I can't look at you again.
Glint in his eye.
I was going to say we went on a toilet break. We had a little break between part 1 and part 2, and Dave showed me what he made in the toilet.
I broke his toilet because I created a tool.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. That's terrible things to say about me.
Like full on, like a sniper putting a gun together. Like his poo tapered. It was amazing. Yeah.
Would you like some facts?
I would.
Okay, I'm going to go a little Susie Dent on this, and I apologise in advance, but I found something recently about one of the most vital substances in the world that has given us so many things in our wonderful English language that I didn't know about, okay? So the item is sodium chloride. Salt, okay?
NaCl.
NaCl. Okay, so salt, it's made up literally sodium and chlorine bashed together, you get sodium chloride. That is the salt that we know well. It's delicious. It makes the most bland of cooking. It elevates it. People drop it into sweet things. Presumably you've had a bit of salted caramel in your life.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the salted ice cream you can get in that ice cream shop?
Yeah.
Is it Murphy's?
It's big. It's a big salt on porridge, big Scottish thing, isn't
that's
it?
Right. The porridge championships, you're only allowed 3 ingredients: oats, water, and salt.
The porridge championships.
The porridge world championships. This is incredible. This is not what the episode's about, but anyway.
Okay.
But the porridge world championships, you are allowed to cook your porridge 3 ingredients, nothing else: water, salt, and oats. And they have a championship every year in Scotland to see who's got the greatest.
I thought like the Porridge World Championships could also be who's been longest in prison. So it's like Mandela's doing really well, but Rudolf Hess has absolutely smashed it out of the park.
Actually, porridge making championships.
Well,
yeah. In fact, I've interviewed a couple of Irish people who've gone over to them as competitors. And they've done really well.
How do you trade? So is it how much porridge you can eat?
No.
Is it the porridge you make?
No, it's the porridge you make. And it's judged by experts who tell you that your combination of 6 grains of this and that is the greatest porridge of the year.
I would have thought that it does. As a judge of that, do you have to be a tiny blonde girl going, if I think that porridge is too hot?
Meantime, I need a little nap, so I'm going to try. This bed it's just too
I hope that's
hard.
a big Danish explorer, because that looks like a bear outside the window. Okay, so salt and porridge, but salt generally
salt
amazing.
in general is incredible, right? So we're going to start where most things start in our lives, which is back to the Greeks and Romans, but particularly the Romans. Okay. Romans love to eat raw salad greens, so your lettuce leaves, your cucumbers, or whatever, and they would usually use a salty brine type dressing on it. Now, I studied Latin in school, so I understand a bit, but I did have to go back and check these. But the Latin word for this dish they used to eat was herba salata, which was basically salted herbs, salted greens, salted garden vegetables, whatever. But salted was what was in there. So herba salata, that's where we get the word salad.
Oh.
So salata, salted. That has over the years has come to mean a fresh vegetable dish is salad. Sal is the Latin word for salt. So salad, boom, there we go. That's that one, right? The Latin word for salted itself was salsus, okay?
Okay.
And salsus has given us 3 incredible words in English through other words.
Okay.
So the French took salsus, and salsus meant any kind of salted condiment. Okay. So the French were great with their pommes frites and whatever else they would, and they would dip things. They loved a little condiment around the table. Dip things into these salted condiments. So they took the word salsus and gave us what we now have in English as sauce.
Oh,
so all sauces you eat come from the Latin word salsus.
I thought it was like the winter solstice and the summer solstice.
Salsus, not solstice. In Italian, they actually didn't move away from the salsus. They kept it tighter. Salted meats, salami.
It's all from salt.
It's all from salt. Okay. So it was stuck to the meat. Cured salted meats were salami. In Spanish, you can probably guess this one because I said salsas already. Salsa.
Salsa.
So salsa is the Spanish word for sauce. I don't know about you. My favorite one is the smoky one in Pablo Picante in Dublin City Centre. There's a number of restaurants. Chipotle, smoky one, absolutely ridiculous.
I'm now skipping ahead to every word that has SEL at the start.
Well, slow down because I don't want you to ruin any of my things. But I guarantee you, some of the ones you're thinking of will probably be the ones that I'm
Sally
thinking of.
Ride.
Almost.
Sally Noggin.
Saltica in Latin was a word for meats that were preserved with salt. And saltica is directly where we get the word sausage.
Saltica goes to sausage.
Through languages
many years.
Many
evolutions.
That's where sausage comes from. Saltica.
Glasgow Saltica.
Yes, that's definitely related. Outside of food for a second, what would you call the kind of muddy sediment on a riverbed?
Yeah.
That might sound a bit like salt.
Sediment?
No, I said that.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't ask you to what you to call it.
You mean when an oxbow lake is forming?
I'm not sure about that level of geography. It's a 4-letter word. Starts with an S, ends with an ult. Silt.
Right.
Silt comes from the Scandinavian or certainly Nordic word SYLT, which is their word for salt marsh.
Oh.
So silt, we took that into our language. If we cross language barriers for a minute and we go to...
we took silt into English. Yeah.
Took silt English from Scandinavian
little break
languages.
Here, we also took freckle from Norse, daughter from Norse.
Daughter, yes.
Yeah. Irish has a load of pingin for penny. They're all Norse.
They're all from
Nordics
into Norse into thing. Yeah, okay.
Ugly, freckle, yeah, daughter, yeah.
Ugly, I was going to say, you're not combining ugly and freckle.
Ugly, freckle, and daughter. No, we're not.
Gosh.
Freckles, please don't send us the individual ones for Cash for Gold. A bus.
Cash for skin.
Get
the brand right.
Sorry,
if
Cash for skin.
Get the brand right.
We can cut that out.
Let's skip languages for a second. Go to the Greek language, okay?
Okay.
Hals, Hals, is the word for salt in Greek.
Okay.
Halogens. Okay, so halogens, I'm not a periodic table kind of guy, but I did my research on this, right? Now, I realize for those of you listening, it's going to sound like I know what I'm talking about. For those of you watching the video, you'll see me now read these words out because I had no idea. Fluorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, chlorine, and tennessine are all halogens. They're reactive non-metal elements.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we move on, tennessine. Tennessine is an element.
Named after tennis?
No.
Tennyson.
Keep going.
Tennis elbow.
No, tennis
racket.
Tennyson.
Tennis match.
Tennessee. Tennessine or Tennessine is named after Tennessee. So there was
a Californium as well.
There is a Californium. Yeah. So a Russian-American scientific collaboration gave rise to this new element. And the lads were based in the University of Tennessee, so they called it Tennessine, which I think is a terrible idea. But anyway, now, and just to sound really clued in, what they did was they bombarded berkelium-249 with calcium-48.
Okay.
And that gave us
That's what I would have done.
I mean, and you'd be right.
Yeah.
Like your fella took his poo and froze it.
Yeah.
These lads obviously took the berkelium-249, smashed it with calcium-48.
My father worked in a berkelium factory for years. Board the money, used to turf. That's it's a little brick of berkelium. It's Pete Berkelium.
Anyway, Tennessine,
Pete
right?
Berkelium was the guitarist in what's the band? Boomtime Rats.
course it is.
He's called Pete Briquette.
Pete Briquette, he is called Pete Briquette.
Okay.
Sorry, yes. Back to the halogens.
Okay.
So the name halogen literally means, from Greek, salt producer. Because when you take those elements I spoke about and you combine them with other elements, you get, so for example, sodium chloride. You take chlorine, you smash it up against sodium, and you get sodium chloride. We produce salt. Halogen.
That's class.
They're not just the lights in your car.
Okay, that is class.
Sale and saleable come from salt because there was so much value attached to salt in ancient Rome. So something was saleable. It was from the word sal, from salt.
Okay. Salieri. Yeah, you know, in the Mozart, who competed with Mozart, mainly made of salt.
Was he? So a lot of urea, a lot of salt. Right, interesting.
So he never really wrote the same compositions as Mozart because he was fully human.
Yes, that's the difference. It was so valuable in ancient Rome, soldiers returning from battle would be given a special allowance with which they could buy salt.
Okay.
You don't know this.
I
see, he's quick, this fella.
Okay.
But for anyone else who hasn't, so as they're paid their gold coins, they're paid their whatever, they're given property, they're given whatever, and they're given an allowance to specifically buy salt.
And
it's called
butter vouchers. Scratch cards.
It's called salarium. Is the word for the salt allowance becomes salary in English language.
That's class.
We are getting paid a salary, and salary literally comes from the word salt. And there are other phrases, I guess, like this is not directly related, but things like the idioms we use today. Like, for example, any podcaster worth his salt knows to get out of Neil's OnlyFans dungeon. Yeah. You know, that kind of thing.
Neil's OnlyFans dungeon.
Those come the salt of the earth, proper Irish, certainly UK Irish phrase.
Yeah.
Salted foods were great. Salt of the earth meant a good, trustworthy, solid person. Take that with a pinch of salt. Was Pliny, the Greek philosopher. So at one point he was taking an antidote to poison. I'm still not clear in my research as to whether or not he was actually poisoned or just paranoid about being poisoned, but he would take this medicine, this antidote, which tasted gross. So he would take it all the time with a pinch of salt to make it go down a bit easier. And that's, again, if you work it through the annals, that's where we kind of get that phrase now where don't dismiss what someone's telling you,
but just
you know,
mitigate the effects of it.
Exactly, mitigate a little bit of the spoofing or the whatever.
Okay,
and that is why I think salt is the best of all of the bits you sprinkle on your chips.
This might be an edit, but was he Greek or was he Roman?
Pliny.
Anyway, just say Pliny the.
No, leave all this in, and then someone else can just research and tell us.
Okay, I am reading a book called Chesapeake.
Right.
And my friend recommended, I think it's from the 70s, and it's about the bay in Virginia and Maryland and all the rest, but from 1580 something to right up. And it's just a kind of a big long story about that part of the world. So it's about Native Americans and about the first settlers. But they're currently talking about salt. And they're writing back to England going, we have more fish that we can eat, but we have no way of storing it over the winter. And they're specifically looking for salt. And last night I read a page where the guy who wrote back to the people who were funding his explorations and his tobacco plantation, all the rest in Virginia, and he said, can you send me a consignment of Polish salt from the salt mines in Poland that he mentioned, because we cannot get salt where we are.
Wow.
And they literally last night figured out somewhere in the Caribbean that they could get salt from, and they were delighted. So I've never realised how important it is, but it's massively important,
particularly, as I said, in the Susie Dent kind of language way. That was what surprised me.
But that shows you how important
salt was
for everything else.
Absolutely. So there you go. That's some salt facts for you for part 2 of the first episode of the new era of Why Would You Tell Me That with Neil Delamere and Dave Moore.
Right, now that reminds me to cement our relationship. So you make salt, and you've mentioned salt so much. I'm going to go up and I'm going to run a bath. I'm going to get into the bath. What you do with the bath water when I'm finished in the bath, that's up to you.
I mean,
that's up to you.
Am I permitted at some point to put some salts into the bath water?
No, listen. You do what you do. You.
I'll distill what I need.
You just figure out what you want to do. Please get in contact with us with your questions.
Okay, but saying that, you need to tell people how to get in contact with us.
Yeah, but we haven't said
no, we haven't
yet.
But by the time this episode comes out,
why would you tell me that on social media? You can send your questions there.
Okay, I was going to say, but we could go like this, magic go, and then a thing would play where it has all the details, and then we go, and then we're back.
Okay.
Now, I'm not certain, that's going to happen, but otherwise just go to the Instagram of why was telling me that, just go in there.
Man, I saw every ounce of your 20 years on radio in that. Every ounce of experience.
Sure.
The chutzpah that you brought to that, just the sheer level of self-belief that I can start this sentence and have no idea where it's going to end.
None.
It was a beautiful thing to see.
I appreciate it.
Check us out on all social media. Download it if you like it. Tell your friends. It's the new era. It's the new regime.
And Patreon's on the way.
Patreon's on the way.
See ya.
See you next week.